So I'm sure a lot of you have probably listened in to the audio, or you probably went over to Lioness of Judah's video. For the record, because someone said that they didn't think it was cool that I use someone else's content. This is YouTube, ma'am. And if you go to any random YouTuber, you will see that YouTubers sometimes use other YouTubers' content. Okay. It's called the Fair Use Act. Look it up. I did not use her video. I used the audio, and many, many, many YouTubers do it. Hell, without it, most people wouldn't have any content at all. So at least educate yourself before you try to come for me. Thank you. Anyway, let's talk about that chat. That live chat that went on last night. Now, it was 8 hours. I have to give it up to Lioness of Judah. Whew. You got to put in some work to sit there for 8 hours on a live chat. That's a job. 8 hours, that's a freaking job. So I have to give it up to her. I didn't even know it went on until I got up this morning, and I just saw it. I just happened to click on it. And luckily, a few commenters, including Lioness of Judah, said that, basically told us the timestamp as to when Tasha K and Lovely T both came into the chat, which is around the 5 hour mark for Tasha K, and then Lovely T comes in roughly around 5 hours, 34 minutes. So if you go over to Lioness of Judah's live and you click on it, go all the way to like the 5 hour mark somewhere in there, and you'll start to hear these women. I have to say this. Listening to Lovely T, it is clear to me that she has been it's been like a pot that's just been boiling for a while. It's been on a low boil, and it's just been bubbling and just finally the top just popped off. That's kind of how she reacted last night. Now, I have to say this. I know a lot of people have said she's done things behind the scenes, and perhaps that's true. I'm not saying that she didn't. I have seen a few things, likes here and there, and some kind of like quick shade that she's put out. But she has been, what you would say, I think publicly, she's been relatively quiet about the beef between her and Tasha. Okay, she hasn't gone at Tasha the way Tasha has gone at her. Now, they act on two different wavelengths. They just do. Tasha's more direct. Okay, she's very, very direct. And so if Tasha has something to say to you, she's going to say it. And she did. She has been coming at Lovely T for months. She has. I have seen her in other people's lives when she called Lovely T a codeine fiend. I've seen that. It was on Sean Bradley's live a few months back. She did it. Absolutely. And she's talked about her not too long ago. So now Lovely T has finally decided, you know what, she's going to strike back, and she did. And she came out swinging. She had time. Today I had time because, that's her little thing on her videos. She had time. So, I mean, what can I say? I just think it was cathartic. She needed to do it. She probably feels better for having said it and just getting it out there. And I hope that these two women can move on. Now, how Tasha K ended up on the live, it's possible it's because, listen, for the most part, this live was talking about Tasha K. You remember her and Candace have been into it for the last few days, and I guess their friendship is over, so Tasha K chimed in. Now, I don't understand her sometimes. I really don't. I don't get it. This is a woman who is 7 months pregnant, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't know why she involves herself in stuff like this. She should be chilling, if anything. She just keeps putting herself into these things. I know that people are talking about her. I get it. But she clearly shows that she's not above the fray. She likes to dive into the mud and get herself dirty. She just likes it. She is that type of person. But I just don't understand why she continues to do it when she is 7 months pregnant. I hope that baby does not come out stressed, because the stress that she's under, the strain that she's under and the kind of situations she put herself in, I don't get it. I just would never do that to my kid. But I have to say she held her own. A lot of people are feeling like she was ganged up on. I don't necessarily look at it like that. I could see why the visuals of it didn't look right. You had all these YouTubers that were already talking, invoked her name. She was already the conversation. And then the reason why the audio was so bad, I know a lot of people mentioned the audio. The audio was bad simply because these people were on Google Hangouts. So they were all in this chat together. Tasha K called in on one of those YouTubers' phone. And so the woman was holding up the phone to like the other YouTubers, the chat, so that you that's why it was really hard to hear her. Eventually, she called in on conference. She had to put her on conference, but she was not on Google Hangouts. Had she been on Google Hangouts, she would have definitely been more clear, but she wasn't. So Lioness of Judah had everybody else mute themselves so that you could really just kind of hear Tasha K and Lovely T talking back and forth. Eventually Malibu Dollface called in as well. But that's why the audio was bad on Tasha K's part. That was not her fault. That was not on me. It was just the fact that the audio just wasn't good. But Lioness of Judah did the best she could. I mean, considering that just kind of happened, it was very organic. It wasn't planned. I think she held her own. I think she did a good job. I mean, with everybody talking at once, it was very difficult to hear, which is why she did mute a lot of those other YouTubers and just had to mute themselves so that it could just be a conversation between Tasha and Lovely T, a conversation long overdue. Now, just a couple of things to point out. The women, as you know, these women got into it simply because of this whole Star Marie stuff. It's almost like I hate that even happened. The whole Cardi B, Star Marie pretty much ended their friendship because that's what this was about. It really was about that moment in time when Star Marie, Tasha did the interview with Star Marie. Lovely T had a different view and said Star Marie was lying, and then all hell broke loose. It really just went to shit after that. I have to admit, when Tasha K brought up this whole thing about Lovely T being on Cardi B's payroll, I have to admit, I kind of thought that too at one point or another. Now, if she was not on her payroll, something had changed about her. I'm not saying that she was being paid by Cardi, but something did change about her. Once she admitted that she had a phone call with Cardi B for hours, and something did change about the way Lovely T covered Cardi B. She did not cover her the same way after that. She was very different. She had become very biased towards Cardi B, and you could see that she had kind of changed on Nicki Minaj. The tide had definitely changed. So that can't be denied. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I did not notice that change. Some of you probably noticed it too. And I like Lovely T, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I didn't see that she did change the way she covered Cardi. Matter of fact, there have been plenty of times where I think she could have covered Cardi, especially these last few weeks when Cardi was in trouble with all that drugging and stuff, and she didn't say a word. So, yeah, she has definitely been biased. She has. And, but Lovely T has some good points about how Tasha has been acting. I mean, Tasha really did. She was having a hard time explaining that whole thing about them blowing up the internet. Tasha did seem a bit subdued, like she just could not explain that away. It just seemed like it didn't make sense to me. She was trying to explain that she didn't really say that and that's not what she meant and stuff like that. I don't know. But it did seem like she had become a little like she was trying to backpedal a little bit about that whole situation. But I do think Tasha held her own because it was a lot of different people that were in this conversation that had problems with Tasha K. I mean, again, she is the common denominator here. Malibu Dollface eventually chimed in, and Malibu Dollface and Tasha K had their words. Lioness of Judah, who, Tasha K, now Lioness of Judah have made a lot of videos about Tasha K, but Tasha K has been real low vibrational, and she has said some things. And matter of fact, things got really ugly between Lioness of Judah and Tasha K because I remember a few months back that Tasha K kind of enlisted another YouTuber to basically dox Linus of Judah, and ended up doxing the wrong woman and put another woman's information out there that was incorrect, was not her, was not Linus of Judah at all. They was trying to basically, expose her identity, and they exposed a completely innocent woman that had nothing to do with nothing. I was glad to hear that Tasha K finally apologized to Linus of Judah for that. She should have apologized. It was wrong. It was absolutely wrong, and it was out of pocket. But these people have been going back and forth for a long time. Eventually, Sweet Ma gets in on the conversation. And, Tasha K and Sweet Ma have had dealings for a while, too. And as far as that relationship and how they've gone back and forth, Sweet Ma made videos about Tasha K. Tasha K made parodies and had people make parodies of Sweet Ma. That was ugly. That was a very ugly situation. Information got out there about Sweet Ma and her personal business, her intimate relationships, all that other stuff. It was just bad. Things had gotten bad. They had gotten really bad on all sides. Tasha K didn't even want to talk to Sweet Ma. If you listen to the audio, I didn't have it on this particular one, but if you listen to, go to Linus of Judah, and she has a separate video with her, Tasha K and Sweet Ma. Tasha K didn't even want to talk to Sweet Ma. She didn't even want to speak to her, but eventually they did speak. Okay. I don't know. I think what people have to understand, especially somebody like Sweet Ma, is like, if you're going to make videos about a person like Tasha K, as low level as she can be, you have to understand Tasha K plays to win, and she don't fight fair. So if you're going to put something out there about her, you have to expect that she's going to she gets in the mud with people. Do you see the kind of videos that she puts out? It's expose stuff. She exposes people. You have to understand, if you're going to go and be with this woman in any kind of way, either on her side or against her, you have to understand the kind of stuff she does. And if you get on her bad side, she doesn't mind going in the mud with you. She just doesn't. And it's dirty, but it fits her, which is why I just don't think that Tasha K will ever have any friends out here on these YouTube streets. She just don't have any friends, and I don't think she's set up to have friends. Lovely T said something that it stayed in my mind. She said that Tasha K is, well, I already told you guys that she was reactionary, but she's one of those people that's very, she's, what she call her? She's paranoid. She's extremely paranoid. And so because she's like that, she's always on tinge. Like, she just has these preemptive strikes where she just strikes you just because she thinks you're doing something, or she thinks you're talking about her. That's how she moves. And that's why things have never worked out between her and other YouTubers. And it will, as the way I'm looking at it, I don't think it'll ever work out between her and other YouTubers, because that's just how she moves. I said that yesterday when it came to her and Candace. I just don't think friendship is in the cards for Tasha K. Not on these YouTube streets. Not at all. Because she is very, very paranoid, like Lovely T said. I absolutely believe that. I do. But I am glad that these women at least put everything out on the table. Now, is anything resolved? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Tasha K is going to be Tasha K. Lovely T is going to be Lovely T. Sweet Ma's going to do what she do. Her and Bonus to Bones deal into it, I guess. So, all I can say is I really do like both of these women, and I do wish that these YouTube streets could be a lot nicer, just like Lovely T said. It used to be a place where people could chop it up and just have fun and be nice to one another, and now YouTube streets have gotten pretty dirty, and they've gotten pretty grimy, and YouTubers are always against other YouTubers now, and it would be nice if things could get back to normal.